Hi everyone, Paul Lange from Disciplined Trading Strategies with this week's Trade of the Week video. This week ending April 2nd of 2023, the stock was PYXS. I'd never heard of it. This happened on Tuesday the 28th. The strategy was based on a Tier 2 gap entry on a 2-minute shakeout DTS breakout play, so it's taken on the shakeout, not on the breakout. Management advance reward to risk 3.0 to 1 out the door. And that was all in a very short period of time, about not much more than a half hour. Not my typical trade, I'll explain in a second. Coming up this week, we have a couple of DTS events. We do have the Monday night scanning, so come join us for that. If you're a DTS member, you will get your invites automatically. If not, get over to the DTS homepage and figure out how to be a free DTS member and get lots of great educational information. Wednesday will be the DTS educational event. It's called Test to Improve Your Trading. This is one of those quasi-seminar program member educational events that everyone's invited to. It's actually stuff we've gone over in the program many times, but I think some of these things would be very helpful to newer people and to enlighten you about where you are in your trading, and probably one of the more important events if you're trying to initially try this on your own to figure out how to trade or invest for yourself. Here is the stock, PYXS. In the trading room, we joke around sometimes, and there's an acronym for this. This is called the crazy little crappy stock of the day. This is what I encourage traders to not do, and I don't do as a rule. This is a once a month thing. When we look at the gaps, this stock would never be on my normal watch list, but when we look at gaps, all kinds of stocks show up. This one showed up. It was a decent gap in and of itself. It was a good stock. It's not one of those that has crashed down from 500 down to $1 or something like that. And it was a legit gap. I still was not all that interested in it because these little stocks like this tend to get whacked back a lot. You can see even in here, this breakout here, if you'll have it on the daily chart, got all the way back. If you tried it as a swing trade, this green bar got reversed instantly. There's a lot of selling that come into these long, skinny, low volume type of consolidations like that. But what happened is the setup that occurred at 10:30 was one that I could not stand the thought of not taking. So there's the daily chart. We're going to open right there and blast off. Got a good stock this time. I do one of these. I don't even do one a month. I probably have one on the screen. I'm seriously considering one a month. And by one of these, I mean a crazy little crappy stock like this. 60-minute chart. Boom. Not much to learn on the 60-minute chart. Let's take a look at the 5. Entry is right in there at 306. And by the way, the reason I'm featuring this is because the setup was just incredible. I don't encourage you to normally try to go after these little stocks like this. It's a $3 stock, but the setup on here was just incredible because the gap was a very good gap, and then I wasn't that interested. I was just had it on the screen, and then I saw this little shakeout here. It's even more pronounced on the 2-minute chart. I actually bought off the bottom. I did not take the breakout way up here. That would have decreased the reward to risk about 3 times from what I had it. So we open right there. We kind of go sideways after moving up a little bit. Kind of important to me, we negated that first red bar, kind of went sideways, and then right off that little dip there came in and bought over 305 with a stop under 290. They gave it a good amount of room and yet had a fairly good reward to risk. Target 1 was taken quickly, partly because it was already a days and a half profits right there, so I grabbed some right off the top, and also knowing that the little stock like this could get slapped back at any moment. Target 2 is a nice healthy target, you can't fault that. And target 3 took in there after it top-tailed a couple times and trailed it out at 373 for that last target. It went a little higher, but I would never fault anybody for taking these targets because it was a huge move that happened very quickly, and you never know how much that's going to pull back or how quickly. So I may not be the greatest at target taking. You may fault me for that, but I do it in a way that's a style that I do consistently, and I'm able to generate good profits and sometimes get huge targets. This one was not one I was going to let go for any more than what it was right there. 2-minute chart gives you a little better entry concept, and that shakeout, it really looks good on the 2-minute chart. Entry, just sitting on the screen, not really paying attention. I look over, see its consolidation, say, wow. Note, I do not take something like that. This is one of these categories where the breakout is not okay until after the shakeout, or you take the shakeout itself with a certain type of entry. Boom, boom, and boom, done. If you like trades like this, come join us in the DTS Trading Room. We generally get our job done the opening hour or so, usually done by 10:30ish. Recently, I have been coming back at lunch for a trade. It's just been what the market has called for because we've had a lot of later day type moves. I usually make the room aware of that to some extent by putting a sign up what my expectations are for the rest of the day. But even then, there's not a lot that we do the rest of the day other than managing the trade. So get the job done early. Come join us in the DTS Trading Room. Go over to the DTS website if you want to join us and figure out how to become a member in the DTS Trading Room. Until next time, this is Paul for DTS. Good trading, everybody.